Hello and welcome to another FX Centrum daily market analysis. For today, I will go through our cross asset list. I will cover coffee market, WTI, US 100, US 30, USD Japanese yen, pound dollar, euro dollar, dollar index, Bitcoin, gold, and aluminium. I will do so by using our FX Centrum platform. And let's begin with the coffee market first. So this is a daily time frame. And what we can see here is that market is still trading in this tight consolidation. We have resistance at 205.70 and support at 193.77. Declining, we have declining middle Bollinger Band, which is a 20-bar moving average. We have the downward slow line on stochastic, and the fast line had a bull cross, but still we didn't see any powerful upside move, so we still have a consolidation, a downside environment. Anyway, if the market can break 205.70, there will be a chance of potential retest of 213.75, which is a middle Bollinger Band, or even 220.80 mark. The downside break of 183.77 can lead the coffee market lower towards 181.60, which is the quite important support level. As you can see here in the background, we had quite a big reaction from this 101.60 mark. So still consolidation is active, and I'm waiting for the breakout or potential bigger movement. So WTI is something similar. We have a consolidation, but we had rejection yesterday. There was an attempt from sellers, and there was quite a big rejection from this 77 mark. And as you can see here, now slow line is turning to the upside, and the fast line is above the slow line. So we see some kind of potential change in trend behavior, but still market is inside of this trading range in the last 10 plus days. The resistance is set at 80.15, which is a middle Bollinger Band and the swing high at this point. And then the next upside important resistance is at 81.55. Let's take a look at the hourly time frame. We can see that there was a sell-off, but there was no follow-through after that, and quite absorption yesterday after the CPI. That's why I alerted yesterday the CPI and the retail sales will be very important in terms of volatility. And as you can see, lots of things actually moved, and we will go and cover all of those liquid markets. Now market is just building, as you can see, price equal time. So after this significant move overnight, we're just having the sideways movement. At this point, you can see that volatility is still expanding, so we don't have any contraction at this point. And we will see if the market can break this middle Bollinger Band 80.15, which can be the upside objective in case the upside moment for the intraday trading. Then there will be a chance for a higher prices. If not, then there is still a chance for a downside rotation. So far, market is just doing the very tight sideways consolidation overnight regime. So at this point, US 100, we had such a, we had a breakout of the all-time, basically we have all-time high on US 100. And this will be important to watch. Can the market sustain actually this breakout or not? So far we had a close near the high, 18,630. We had a slow and fast line sloping to the upside. They're close to each other at this point, almost around the 100 mark. We have this rate of change flip to the downside for today, which is a sign that we might see the down day today, potentially to develop. You can see that we had a 2 low to high days in a row, and that there's a rate of change flip to the downside. So based on the rate of change work, there is a chance for a downside and sell day for today. But we need to see confirmation in terms of the price action, since we didn't have any confirmation in the last couple of days. Every kind of down break and attempt, we can immediately see that we had absorption. As you can see here, there was an attempt here. So now we need to wait for the market to contract a bit. You can see quite a bit contraction in the last 5 to 6 hours. We like more the Bollinger Bands to contract, and then eventual downside breakout of the lower Bollinger Band can be a good sign beginning for the down date to develop. So At this point, buyers are in control in the short-term trend in the last 20 days. But still, market is trading in the upper Bollinger Band. Again, upper Bollinger Band, this example is a 2 standard deviation of the 20 bar moving average. So 2 standard deviation we are trading at this point. It's a quite extended on the daily time frame. Again, we need to see how the market will react after this markup, after yesterday's CPI and retail sales. And so far we have a very tight consolidation. So if the market can break down and hold, then there will be a chance for the down day to develop and have a sell day with a, I would say, the downside objective. We can have the midday. So for example, 18,000, let's say 18,480 mark. Maybe the first downside objective intraday, and then the previous day low at 18,320. If this down day, and if we see the supply on the hourly and the contraction and the break. So we need to see a few elements in order to have a market confirmation. If market just keep going higher, then it will just follow alongside upper Bollinger Band. So now we have US 30. So US 30 still didn't take the all-time high. As you can see, all-time high is at 40,042, around that area. And it's different. Still, there is a rate of change divergences that we're building here, the fast and slow line. We have mini bear cross, fresh bear cross on the stochastic oscillator. Still, we have 2 up days in a row and then the flip to the downside. So very similar to the US 100, we might see the downside day to develop. I will not be surprised if the market will trade into the area of the previous high volume area. So I will say this zone here, 39,550. I definitely see potential for that downside movement. We need to see the confirmation. You can go even lower frames in order to find the confirmation. For example, if you trade like a pretty a short-term horizon intraday, and you can see that we already had some on a 5-minute time frame. You can see that we already had a sell-off to the downside, and now market is trying to hold. So if the market, and you see that volatility is expanding, so we might see, we can already see some structural changes on a 5-minute time frame. You see the 5 held pretty well in this whole area, and now this is a first down break of the lower Bollinger Band. So if market can resell from here, this can be a good sign for the down day to develop actually. And then the downside objective can be around 39,550 mark. If not, then of course there is a chance for that new all-time high on the US 30 mark. Now USD Japanese yen, so we had a down day, and this is something that, so after our first objective was reached, we can see here that market had a down break on the hourly, and I learned about that in order for market to continue higher, we need to actually move higher and continue with the structure to the upside, break upper Bollinger, but it didn't happen. So actually market held to the downside, and CPI and retail sales just helped us to go even further to the downside, and now we can see just some rotation towards the middle Bollinger Band on the hourly time frame. On the daily time frame, as you can see, we have a flat Bollinger Band, and market is basically trying to trade around this lower Bollinger Band again, but we have more like a consolidation in this between this upper and lower Bollinger Band. So far still no reversal on USD yen, but this is something that I will pay attention to. So I would like to see some kind of contraction, and of course anything meaningful to the upside. I need to see the market to break upper Bollinger Band and hold above, eventually have some contraction. So we need a few elements here for potential upside moment. Because if that's not the case, then market can just find the sellers around this middle Bollinger Band or the previous swing lows, this area around 154.73, 154.60, and then eventually resell further downside towards the 152, let's say 70 mark, or this lower Bollinger Band on a daily. So we need to pay attention and watch carefully the price action around this zone. Pound dollar had an upside breakout, and it's just around, I think it just reached area 1.2700 mark, which is a critical pivot point, as you can see here on the left side. on the daily time frame. This is like a pretty much important pivot point, and we can see another fresh gap between the fast and slow line. There is a rate of change flip to the downside after pretty much a couple of days to the upside and from low to high, 3 days in a row. So there is a chance for a downside rotation. You can see the situation here. The hourly is now sloping to the downside, but the Bollinger Bands are contracting, which is good. Market can break to the downside and hold. There will be a chance for at least downside correction towards the, let's say, 1.2635 mark or even 1.2580 mark. From another side, if market just keep breaking higher, and the next upside objective is 1.2710, and then the next one is 1.2790 mark. Euro dollar is pretty much similar. We just delete those lines here. So what we can hear is another gap. So this is like a secondary gap. Show you here. This is a secondary, quite a big gap between the fast and slow line and stochastic. And this time the slow line is around 80 mark. So it's quite an overbought environment. Something similar we had here, as you can see with the slow line, this purple, was around 80 mark. We had a whole down cycle. Will this be the case here, and can we have a downside turn from this? We will see. So far, rate of change, we have a downside flip. We have a couple of days rally here, and this is a quite important resistance around 1.0885, 890 mark. See the previous swing highs at that point clearly on the daily time frame. The hourly time frame, you can see the contraction is starting at this point. So that's the first, let's say, ingredient for the market to confirm to the downside. The next thing after this contraction is we want to see the downside breakout of the lower Bollinger Band. On the 5-minute, we already kind of can see that downside cycle, but we need to see like a confirmation. We like to see on the hourly time frame confirmation for the further downside moment. Dollar index broke key pin bar low at 104.50. So this rally on the fast line of stochastic was just a corrective, and then there was a downside swing, secondary downside swing. Now the thing here is not just to see if the market can break. So you can see that market broke here also for 2 to 3 days. The key is to watch actually the reaction after the breakout, especially of this area. This is quite important, 104.50 mark, because if the market cannot hold below the lower Bollinger Band, and on the rally, if the market is quite strong, we can still see the upside swing to develop in next period. So we need to be very patient and wait to see this reaction. So far, this reaction looks like a normal pullback, but if we can see the contraction or even stronger push higher or so, aggressive push higher towards upper Bollinger Band, then we can see potential upside swing again. So far, just waiting patiently to see the reaction from buyers. And if they develop this aggressively, if the buyers develop this aggressively, there is a chance for a return back towards the mean again, the next period short term towards 105.38. If sellers take control again on the rallies, then the next downside objective will be around 103.87 and then 103.20 mark. Now Bitcoin, just around this upper Bollinger Band on the daily time frame. So nothing serious happened here. There was a CPI retail sales, and market decided to go higher. There was more buyers, more demand than supply. So upper Bollinger Band here is exactly right now on the test. So 66,000 mark, 66,660 mark. The key resistance. There is also 6,920 mark, like a previous swing highs on the daily time frame. So this is quite a big resistance. And we can see that there is a gap between the fast and slow line is showing again. Hourly time frame, you can see this break and hold, but now pretty normal Bollinger Bands are starting to contract, and this will be important to watch. After this contraction, can we have a down break and hold below? That will mean that Bitcoin can have a down day and have some backup relative to the previous day rally, or market can hold and have another either consolidation day around Bollinger Bands or have an upside continuation. So far, Need to be patient and wait this contraction. Now we have a gold market, so there was a breakout to the upper Bollinger Band, but the distance between the fast and slow line is stochastic is pretty high. Another thing which you can see here is the basically rate of change flip to the downside after two low to high days in a row. So this is an example that we might see the downside moment today or sell day today. We're still trading inside the big cluster, so there is a pin bar territory from 2400 to 2430. We're still into the resistance area. Hourly time frame, we can see here that slow and fast line are turning to the downside. And here, seems like this was just like a corrective rally and there was no buyers to make a new high for the day. So this seems like it's starting in turning to the downside. 5 minutes is breaking to the downside and holding. Second time of breaking to the downside, lower Bollinger Band. So we have some decent signs intraday. This can be the beginning of the sell day today. So you can see the eventual downside day and maybe even full retest of the previous day low around 23.53 mark. This could be interesting idea for the downside for today. Aluminium had an upside breakout, and this is something I learned about and decided to pay attention. After the breakout, this consolidation, the upside objective is around this upper Bollinger Band, is around 26.50 mark. Market is trading in 26.06, and there was an upside breakout, but still Bollinger Bands are pretty contracting, but we can see the fast line. There's a fresh bull cross on a fast line. So that will be all for this FX Centrum daily market analysis. If you didn't visit our website, fxcentrum.com, you can go there and read about 100% deposit bonus. So this is quite a big boost for your account. FXCTV. You can watch our technical analysis, and you can watch even previous days. Look at how many days you can watch from the past, and you can just see pretty much coverage for all liquid markets, different trading ideas, at least one short-term trade idea every week, tutorials. You can get access to our FX Central webinar, and if you click, for example, unlock now, you just need to write name, full name, your country, phone, and email. And once you send, you will have a page with a webinar so you can watch and enjoy. And another thing, of course, you can open an account in literally just a couple of minutes and either try a demo account, $10,000 demo account, or create a live account. And then you will be able to use, of course, our FX Centrum platform. That will be all for this FX Centrum daily market analysis. Have a good trading day and speak to you soon.